Hey guys, it is Emerick and welcome to the full brand new Airstream 2025 20FB Caravel walkthrough. This is the walkthrough that I did at Colonial Airstream with their parts guy, service guy. I'm not exactly sure what his position is. Kevin, he gave us the full walk around and showed us all of the different things that you need to know about living in this camper. I have been living in it for a couple of days now, and I gotta say, I am really loving it. There's a lot of amazing things about it. There's a lot of things that I'm definitely learning about it too. I've barely gotten this thing on the road yet, but I've been living in it for a few days, and it has been amazing. Please make sure if you're into Airstream content, travel content, music content, food content, anything like that, you hit the subscribe button and let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like this size Airstream? Would you need a little bit bigger? I don't know. I'm thinking if you were gonna live in it for 10 plus years, I think I would need maybe 5 more feet. That's my hot take. But let me know down in the comments. Anyway, the rest of this video is the entire 2-hour and 5-minute walkthrough of the Airstream that Kevin gave us. So definitely stick around. I'm gonna chapter this all out for each kind of section because he starts out at the propane tanks and then the lithium ion batteries and the water heater and then the outdoor appliances. And so it's all gonna be chaptered and bookmarked so that if I need to recall something that he said, I can just shoot right back to the video, and you can use this as well as a basic maintenance guide for your Airstream Caravel 20FB. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let me take you back to Emerick 4 days ago? Something like that.
And they'll ask you to do brand deals and endorsements, and that's where all the money is on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
How long to ride home you have? 2.
All right, we are here, our new home. TV. Whoa. Bed. It's pretty sweet. This is awesome. Look at this. We've got the kitchen, fridge, plenty of space. For me, that's plenty. There's Dad through the window, looking at it. The burners, gas burner stove, fan, lights. There's all my battery system stuff. This is for the tanks. Gray, black, fresh. Got 75% fresh water, which means that there should be theoretically water working. Look at how beautiful. Look at the countertops. Oh man. Bathroom, shower. Does your boy fit? Your boy fits. There's the water heater. I mean, this is pretty frickin' legit. This is amazing.
First camper?
Yes, yes.
You've done research maybe, or?
Yes, yeah. We've been looking into it for a little while now. My mom is really big into the Airstream, so she knows all about them.
The biggest thing is just remembering, like, what you need in order to run what appliance and things like that. You know?
Yeah.
If you plan on plugging in, thank you. When you camp, you can do things easily. You're limited a little bit when you're not plugged in. We'll talk about all that.
Yeah.
And I just want you to ask questions as we're going because there's a lot.
Perfect. And you're good with me filming and all that?
Yeah,
Oh,
totally
perfect.
fine, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. And you're going to get this set of keys when we're done.
Sweet.
All right. If you have a question, just go ahead and ask right away. So we'll start here.
Okay.
Your propane is going to be used on the Caravel for the stove, the heat, the hot water, and whatever you attach to this little grill attachment down here.
Oh, okay.
LP
Oh, right there.
port, yep, for a barbecue or a stove or a fire pit or something like that. And you're using these tanks for this hookup right there.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a quick disconnect. Comes with this hose that's in my hand. To attach to it, if you pull this collar back, get that in there, and attach this to the appliance. Turn this valve on the top.
Oh, and it works for like most propane kind of connections.
As long as it is a low pressure appliance.
Low pressure appliance.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys have the Weber one.
We have the Weber one, and the Weber one you don't even need this because it comes with a 10 or 12 foot hose that just goes directly into it and directly into the stove. You don't even need this one. And that way you're not cooking right here. You can get it a little further away, you know? But you hook it up, turn it on, you got gas coming out of there, and you're all set there. Pull that back.
Okay. So what is it? It's just kind of like a push system?
It's a, so there's a safety valve built in where, see there's no hose hooked up. If I turn this on, nothing comes out, right? So, and when you hook it up, you don't just push it in. You gotta pull this collar back.
I see. Okay.
To get it in, and then it locks.
Yeah,
in.
that's what I meant when
Kinda
I said
like
pushing. Yeah.
Kind of like an air compressor type fitting.
Okay, I see.
Yep.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Turn it on. Yep.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
I'll put this away later. So yeah, your stove is always propane.
Okay.
Your hot water is always propane.
Okay.
You can't use electricity for hot water, so it's stove is always propane, hot water is always propane, and this grill attachment. You have, since you have a Caravel, you have an electric option on your heat. So your heat can be propane or electricity if you're plugged in, and I'll show you all that later. We'll turn them all on and show you everything in working order, of course. So with the propane tanks, they automatically switch from one to the other. So you're always using just one at a time. You're never using both at the same time. And what you do is, what we suggest that you do, it's you do whatever you'd like, of course, but turn them both on when you can. That way you can do that its job and switch from one to the other. They just have to be physically turned on. We are currently using whatever tank that this white dial right here is pointing at, where my finger is.
Yep.
It's pointing at that one, that's the one we're using.
Yep.
If I turn this knob this way, now we're using this one. Right now it doesn't matter which one you choose because we just filled them. They're both full. I just chose that one.
Okay.
When you're using it for your stove and your heat and everything. Now when this tank is 100% empty, this green that you see right here will snap over to red. It won't slowly go from green to red.
It'll be
Just like that.
Yeah.
It'll be green even if there's this much gas in it. Empty, no more pressure, it snaps right over to red, and that's when it starts drawing from this one as long as you left it on.
no question.
Yep.
Do I have to come out here and move this over to that in order for that to work?
Not in order for it to work. In order for you to fill the empty one, you have to do that.
In order for me to fill this one, I have to switch it. I have to turn this over there.
So let's just say that one's empty. This is red. It already switched and is using this one. And you know that happened if your gas appliances still work. And that's red. It's pointing at that one. So you know it's working off of this one if that's empty. And now you want to take that apart to fill it. And before you disassemble all this, just turn this right over to this tank, and it goes right back to green because there is gas in this one. And then you can shut this off.
And then undo it as
Shut
you
it off like a
normally
barbecue.
would. Yep.
Shut this or disconnect that like a barbecue. Now the only thing holding the tanks down for travel is this wing nut. So you take that off. Take this whole entire propane cupboard loose now. Lift it right off the tanks. And this crossbar is the only thing holding them tight. Take it out, have it filled, place it right back on there.
Easy sneezy, huh?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's...
And turn it right back on. And now you're the opposite. Now this is your primary because you turned it over to here. And this will become your secondary.
Okay, but...
It goes that way too. It goes back.
So next question, there's only one green dial, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
There's 4 green sections in it, but it's only one dial, yeah.
Okay, I see.
I don't know, it's a little dark there, but if you couldn't see it, it is.
Oh, I see. Okay, yep. It's green all, and it snaps all to red then.
All 4 sections.
How many hours does one propane tank?
So since it's May now, and you're not going to be using the propane furnace
for heat
maybe anytime soon. Depends on if you get chilly nights and whatnot. We'll still talk about all that. Propane furnace uses the most amount.
Okay.
30-degree day, if you have it set for 68 in there, these will probably be done in 5, 6, 7 days, roughly.
Okay.
Stove is minimal. It's a couple of burners. This is the other variable. You don't know what you're hooking up to this. The tankless water heater is on demand, so it only makes hot water when you are using hot water. It's not a tank that it's heating up, and it takes a half hour to heat up.
So probably every 3 days, 4 days?
Not even. No, I mean, in the summertime, it might be all summer.
Okay.
It depends on how often you get out in it.
Say you're living in it.
If you were constant, that's a good question. Without the heat, it's still might. I'm going to say it's an easy 2 weeks. I would guess. It's just a guess though.
Okay.
If you were using it 24/7, the hot water is minimal because it's you have a 6 minute shower. You have 6 minutes worth of propane on a burner like this big.
Yeah,
it's not much.
Yep. Awesome.
And if you have a grill at home, you can maybe judge that, how often you use the grill and whatnot, and how long that lasts.
But really, I mean, unless you're running the
heat,
then it's...
The heat is the big draw on this.
But you can run the heat on the electric.
Yeah,
correct.
so
and
you
then
can
you're not
run,
using this at all.
And you can, in most nights, like unless it's cold, I'm using the heat pump anyway.
And you brought up a good point, because when it's cold, below 40,
yeah,
you can't use the electric heat. It's too cold outside for the electric heat
you have
to work.
to use the
heat
furnace.
Pump, you have to use the furnace.
Because it's 18,000 BTUs, right?
No, because the heat pump that the Caravel has, it's a heat pump on the electric side. They grab the outside air and heat it up. So if the outside air is too
and that
cold,
takes up too much energy.
Too much energy.
Got it.
It'll take longer to get warm in that temperature, or it won't even work in that temperature.
Got it.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
When I turn it on later on, it's going to be hot really quickly because we're in a 70-degree shop right now and it's not heating up. It doesn't take much to heat that outside. All right. And then you shut these off when you hit the road.
Okay. You shut them off when you drive.
You don't need anything propane related.
Cool.
Running when you're on the road. Plus,
okay.
It's a safety hazard.
Safety
and
hazard.
a law in a lot of cases as well.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay.
And then that's just like a rubber.
Just a rubber
like
tether.
a cooler.
Yank that down. Yep.
Got it. Cool.
Just like a cooler thing.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. All right. Caravels. I still don't know if it's standard or optional, but you have lithium batteries. Lithium batteries are your power source when you're not plugged into campsite power. So when you're plugged in like we are now, you can pretty much do whatever you want in there. Air conditioning, microwave, television, lights, heat, hot water, all that stuff. If you were unplugged, well, first of all, do you plan on leaving it plugged in or plugging in more often than anything?
Kind of a mix of both for sure. Yeah. It's very unplanned, the adventures.
Okay. That's part of the fun, really, sometimes, not knowing what you're doing, If you are using your batteries as your main power source and you're not plugged into the campsite, it is impossible to run the air conditioner, the electric heat pump, or the microwave.
We're getting a generator,
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you get a generator, depending on the size of the generator as to how many of those appliances you can run.
Right.
Yeah.
If
I'm
it's
thinking 3,500.
3,500? Okay, so that's almost, you can do the air conditioner and the microwave at the same time there.
Okay.
You can do the air conditioner and a coffee pot. You can do the air conditioner and...
And a laptop charger?
That's nothing.
Okay.
That's hardly anything.
That's literally...
Yeah. Yep. You couldn't do 3 big appliances on that 3,500 watt generator. And to give you a comparison, that 30 amp that we're plugged into is 3,600 watts. So that's the max you're ever going to get in here anyway. So using the generator or the 30 amp, you have air conditioning, microwave, coffee pot, toaster, things like that. You can use 2, maybe 3 of those at the same time, never 4. It's just too much power for 4 of them. You temporarily turn off the air conditioner if you're going to do
If you're going to cook or
the
something.
microwave and a coffee pot and all that stuff. You just got to watch it.
Yep.
But the breakers are there to trip. God forbid something happens. You're not going to damage anything, of course. So the batteries and or the propane, they power up everything else except for the air conditioner, the microwave, and the.
Okay.
What about the refrigerator?
It's a battery-powered refrigerator, yeah. So it runs on these batteries only.
Okay.
Charges the batteries when you're plugged in. The Jeep's going to charge the batteries when you're plugged in.
And the solar panels.
And the solar panels, right. You also have the ability to monitor these batteries on a phone app.
Oh, really? Perfect.
And there's a monitor in there which isn't as nearly as good as the phone app. So I don't know if you want to pause that. We can
Yes,
do the app
absolutely.
now.
Or could you hold it, Mama? You can look in the little screen to see where it's posted.
So let me see. You should show up. Yeah, I set it up yesterday. Is it FREUDIG man? Digman? Okay.
Yep, for a Digman.
Okay. So if you go to your app store if you don't have it already.
Yep.
Let me close this. Victron Connect. Looks like that.
Victron Connect.
No.
No.
As long as you're within 20-25 feet of the front of the trailer, that's where you're going to get the best reading. It's a Bluetooth range.
Okay, so it's literally
It's not
right
like
to the
your
battery,
battery.
actually.
Right on the other side of the wall is that shunt that we're
Perfect.
monitoring.
I love stuff like this.
Yeah, it's
I
the
love
newest
these
thing. It
dials.
works very well. So you can keep hitting next. It's going over what the app is capable of doing. Okay, so we put your name in it. Yeah. The passcode is going to be the number 0 6 times, and you can change that later.
Although, who's ever going to guess?
Right.
In that,
Not like it's on tape or anything. Beat.
Because there's a factory code that comes with it, and you generally change it to 0. And you can change it. If not, I could easily get it. It's not, you didn't connect.
Nope. Yeah, no worries.
That's the trade wind.
You see the trade window over there?
Yeah.
That's Mom's dream Airstream right there. Oh, coming back.
No problem.
Okay. Should work now.
No, you got to go to the factory one. I thought I changed it, but
Okay.
so the factory pin is 528492. This sticker I took a picture of is on the inside of the breaker box cover.
Okay, let's see. 528. Here's that this, oh, it says it's connected to another phone. Ah, there we go. So it was 528. 528.
492.
492.
I
Aha.
thought I changed it to 0s. I apologize.
No, you're all good.
So, and I'll show you where that code is, and you can change it later. So,
Okay, sir.
battery's 96%. Battery voltage 13.7 is pretty much absolutely perfect. We barely have any power going in or out of the batteries because they're pretty much so fully charged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Time remaining in your camping trip is infinite because right now we're plugged in. You can camp as long as you want because we have full power, okay? If I was to unplug the trailer from the shore power, whatever is running on those batteries is going to continue to run on those batteries, and then it'll estimate how long you can camp based on what is running right now. So give it some time. It's so fully charged, sometimes it takes forever, but this will end up going
To a time.
to a time, 10 days, 9
We'll
days,
look at
8 days.
we'll look at it and oh yeah. No, we'll look at it in
We'll
like
leave
5
it-
minutes.
Yeah, we'll leave it.
Yeah.
We'll maybe even come closer because it might be getting hard reading or harder reading because we're a little further away. It takes some time sometimes to adjust.
Yeah.
But based on what's running, it'll estimate
How long
can
you
run.
have to run it. Yeah.
Yep. And you wouldn't leave every single thing on like I did right now. Everything is running right now, pretty much. So you're going to manage it a little better, right?
Yeah.
We plug that back in. You plug back in, you're back infinite, and you're set.
Right. Okay,
Kind of shuts off whenever it wants or something. Lithium batteries, excuse me, they require heat in order to be charged properly. And it's actually the same for your phones. If you were plugged in outside in 0 degrees trying to charge your phone, it doesn't charge.
Yeah. Or take a video or anything.
Right, all that stuff. In order for you to be plugged in charging these batteries when it's below 35 outside, there's a switch here, on, off.
Oh, the battery heater.
It says battery heater, and I can't see it from my point, but is this the top of the switch red right now?
Yep.
If the red is visible, the heaters are on.
Okay.
And you won't need them anytime soon. So
Okay,
leave that
perfect.
off. But being plugged into shore power below 35 Fahrenheit, you have to have that on in order for them to be warmed by their own power and accept that charge.
Okay, so if it's below 35 degrees. Okay.
And so if it's below 35 and you're
red,
you know you're going to charge. If you're here below 35, you're not damaging the batteries, but they won't charge.
Got it.
Or they'll take
but they can still be
3 times as long. They can still be used. That's the thing.
Okay.
Say the batteries are at 100%. And you are just boondocking, no shore power, out in the middle of the field. It's 1 degree out. Everything will work just fine in there. They just won't charge very well.
I see.
You can drain them and use them when it's cold, just not charge them.
Okay.
Okay. And the exact same goes for the extreme heat, which we're not going to experience. I think it's over 135 Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay.
They won't charge at that temperature either.
So it's like if you're out in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably had it happen to your phones if you leave them in the car for too long and you get that message on the phone. Same
temperature
same
too
idea.
hot, temperature. I've had the too cold one. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yep.
Okay, good. All right. The batteries have the lock on them because there's probably $3,500 worth of batteries sitting right there. So lock that up.
And that is
001 key.
001 key. Got it. Okay, cool.
All right. You have the power jack in the front.
Okay.
Light and down, up to hook it up to the Jeep. My friend Kyle, I think, who has your Jeep, is going to show you how to do all this later.
Awesome.
If this was to fail, you can take this off and use this handle. It's the square end right there.
Yep.
Right onto the square end.
In there.
Oops. There. Turning the motor, but if you take this apart, remove it, you can do a 360 with that and get it onto the Jeep in, in a pinch.
If this stops working.
If it fails.
And so, backup question.
Yeah.
What do I do if this fails?
This, of course, and then you can simply, the quickest thing for you to check, let me open this again, is if you follow this wire.
Okay.
This wire.
Yep.
It goes under the propane right into the battery box. There's a fuse on the end of it. Right here, 30 amp fuse. Check that fuse. If the fuse is blown, you try a new one. If it blows again, there's a problem with the jack, and you have to have it serviced and or replaced. It could be a bad motor, it could be a bad switch or something.
Yep.
But you simply check that first, because this goes right up to the battery. The battery right there.
Do you know how to check it?
Check what?
The fuse.
And
yeah. How do I check the fuse? That's a
do you have
good
a spare
question.
hand to hold that up real quick?
Oh yeah.
That door? Yeah, thank you. So with this fuse, they very recently changed this fuse to what they call an automatic reset fuse. So it basically trips because there's a problem. Once it cools off, it resets itself. But so you don't necessarily have to replace it. These very rarely go bad. If it keeps tripping, then you know there's a problem.
Okay.
They used to have a regular fuse. It was probably a $5 fuse. You had to take it and put a new one in, and it trips again. You got to spend another $5 on one. But this is automatic reset. So if it's not working, and you might even hear a click.
Trip if you accidentally forget to lift the ball, latch the ball from the thing,
Jeep,
and
you're just cranking. No, it'll actually lift the Jeep up.
Will it?
Yep.
Okay.
And Kyle's going to show you that. That's a necessary step to hook up to the Jeep, is lifting the Jeep up. taking the weight off of the Jeep so you can put the bars on, but he's going to show you that.
Okay.
One of the most, aside from a bad motor or a bad switch, the most common reason that thing would switch or trip is if you rapidly change directions.
Okay.
So you say you want to crank it up for the Jeep and you go down instead, and you realize you're going down and you suddenly go up, it's such a torque on the motor that it might trip that breaker.
So just try and stay in one direction,
One
let
direction.
go.
Let it stop.
Let the motor stop and go the other way.
Got it. Understood.
You want to wait for that to stop and then go back the other way.
Got it.
I got this now. Thank you.
Okay. And
001.
All right, let me get that shot.
And I'll put this away for now. You're going to get this set of keys later. It was always an Airstream you were looking for candles? What else?
What are you talking about?
That.
A moment we looked at, like those we got online how long? Maybe a couple hours?
Yeah, I looked at the J-Co's and
then we
all those.
They're
Rejected.
nice for their purpose and what you pay for them, but
Right.
you definitely get what you pay for.
Then we rejected the
The
idea.
one thing with the J-Co's and all those other brands is they do use the same fridge, the same air conditioner, same water heater, things like that. It's just the quality of the construction and things that's not going to fall apart.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, Kyle's going to show you all this, how to hook up safely. The Jeep is perfect for this size trailer. It's absolutely, if that was a concern, it doesn't need to be. So.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Good.
my husband was concerned about that.
Yeah, it's good. The longer wheelbase helps.
Sweet.
Is that a 6-cylinder gas?
Yeah, it should be, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if I know they make the Wrangler with a 4-cylinder and or a diesel too, a little diesel, but I didn't know if they added the Gladiator.
Yeah.
Okay. Stabilizers.
Okay.
You get to the campground, and you're gonna crank these guys down to help prevent this rock and roll when you're inside
Okay, yeah,
and you
yeah.
walk around. And I heard Patrick say they're pretty stable, and you were in there, and it doesn't really bounce around a ton, but
A little bit,
so
yeah.
much better. You know, this bounces around more than that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That one bounces around more than yours because that's even smaller and lighter. So.
I
Yeah.
saw online somebody puts some people put pads on the bottom of these.
Yep,
Yeah.
snap pads.
Yeah.
None of these have them, but they're made out of old recycled tires, and they increase that footprint. Probably instead of that square, it's probably like this big.
Oh,
it
nice.
stays
So
on
it just
there.
gives it like,
Necessary depending on the ground you possibly are going to be staying at. If you're on a concrete pad, you don't necessarily need them, but if you're on gravel or loose, you know, recently rained and you're on grass, you want a bigger footprint so it doesn't sink in. So when you crank these down and it's on the ground, you started to lift it just now, another half a turn, and that is all you need.
so on the ground, lift, you see the
When you
lift.
hear that it hit the ground, another half a turn max.
Okay, got it.
You don't want to crank this to level it. It's not meant for that. And with one down, it's a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And you got 3 more to do. So.
Wow, okay, cool.
And when you leave a campground, you're going to do like we're doing today. You start there, turn the tanks off. You're leaving the campsite, turn the tanks off, crank this up. Make sure that door is shut, showers away, unplug, awning in. Just look at everything, make sure it's stored away.
Yeah.
And you'll never have a problem.
Just make sure that all the things that are out when I'm camping get put away
Yep.
before you start driving.
Step is in, doors shut, doors locked. You can pull over safely or in a campground and leave it hooked up to the Jeep, and that's fine too. Put these down, that's fine. You're more liable to get in the Jeep and drive away if you don't disconnect. And if you have these down, that's a bad thing. So put this on the steering wheel maybe to remind you that, hey, those jacks are down.
Okay.
Something to remind you. Just take the 5-10 minutes to go around it.
Yep.
Doesn't take much, right? All right. Water heater.
Anything that we need to know about that in terms of?
Water heater, I'll just put this away.
Oh, yeah.
Your water heater is propane only.
Okay.
This particular water heater here has a recirculating feature, and that's what it's doing right now. It's heating up the water throughout the day. Yours is a little more basic. It only heats the water when you call for hot water.
Yep.
It starts that process when you turn the faucet on.
Does that mean that you have to have the shower, like be using water in the shower for longer than you?
You, just like at home when you turn on your hot taps that haven't been on in a while, you got a lot of cold water waiting for the hot. You still have to wait here, but you got such a short trailer, it doesn't
Yeah, it's going to take
forever.
like a minute.
It literally takes 3 or 4 seconds for the water to be hot. takes longer for it to pump its way over to the faucet.
So probably a minute, 30 seconds.
Not even, yeah. So when you go in the shower, and I'm going to show you later, when you go in, if you're going to take a shower, turn on hot only. I'll explain it all later. Point it away from you. Hot only. Comes out hot, then you jump in.
Okay.
But I'll show you. You're going to waste a little bit of water waiting for it to get hot, just like any other faucet in your home, but you do have to operate it differently, and I'll explain that a little later. All right. And now you'll get to see.
There's nothing I need to know about in terms of like.
Yeah, it does open. I'm sorry.
No,
it does open, and it has a switch on the top.
Okay.
Which you're going to leave it on the rest of the season.
Okay. Yeah.
What are your plans for like winter? Are you going to be in it still in winter, or
that's
24/7 type thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, or this place in the country, like this.
Well, probably not. No.
Or south and winter.
Yeah, south or maybe even west.
It's going to be difficult to do throughout the winter with plumbing.
Okay.
They're more suited for that, but it's still, you still could run into issues because they're not necessarily 4-season campers. They're like 3.5-season campers, I like to say.
Okay.
As long as you're going to go through a lot of propane if you're trying to live in it in this part of the country throughout the winter. So.
Got it.
But if you're in Florida, anywhere where it's 40 and above constantly, it's going to be fine.
Perfect.
And the reason I ask is because they have to be fully winterized before the winter sets in.
Okay.
The pink antifreeze, which you don't have any of that in there now. It's all flushed out. So.
Okay.
But yeah, it makes hot water instantly, and you'll see that right now because I'm going to turn that faucet on.
And there's nothing ever that I'm going to really need to do in there or anything?
This is where we would service it.
Okay.
God forbid the thermostat failed.
Okay.
And heated this water to 210 degrees, I think it is, just below boiling. I've never seen it happen. You have this pressure relief valve on the water heater, just like if you look at your home water heater, you have that exact same valve on the top of your water heater. It does the same thing.
But there's no reason
there's nothing
for
you to
really.
go in there now.
Okay, perfect.
If it rains,
that's all I need to know.
No, it's the less you have to mess with, right?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
As long as I know that I don't have to mess with it, then I'm good.
If it rains, it might get wet in here, totally fine.
Okay.
You might get water in here, again, totally fine. But you're never getting water in the trailer. It's sealed up nice.
Yep. Cool.
If this gets wet, it's fine.
Awesome.
Yep. Storage for the sewer hose. We're going to talk about dumping the waste in a minute, but after you're done dumping the waste, you take that dirty sewer hose and store it in that tube. Yep. Instead of anywhere in the trailer and stinking up the trailer. So yeah, just isolates that dirty hose here. And we give you all this stuff to go with.
Cool.
To do. All right. Water. You're going to be going from campsite to campsite, hooked up to water, or like remote?
Yeah, like a little bit of both, yeah.
So if you are at a campground, hooked up to a water supply, you got this city water inlet right here.
Yep.
The blue one. You hook up the hose. That we give you.
Okay.
Right to the spigot at the site.
Okay.
The male end right into the blue fitting.
No need for a water
reducer.
filter or anything like that?
Filter if you want, but no pressure. You don't need a pressure reducer.
Okay.
Because Airstreams have them built in. So
Okay.
campers in general do need one, but yours is built in. So.
Okay.
But filter you can get if you want. Yeah.
I bought one. So.
Yeah, just filter every drop of water. There's a little screen filter back in there, but it doesn't get all the impurities. It just keeps the sediment out from the faucets and stuff. So you're hooked up, turning the faucet on, unlimited supply of water's coming in right there. You're never going to run out of supply.
As long as I'm at a campsite.
As long as you're at a campsite.
Yeah.
You're going to run out of capacity in your waste tanks eventually.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a minute, but you're never going to run out of supply.
So really, if you're at the campsite, then you're pretty much set up with water and electricity. It's really when you're boondocking that you just gotta keep an eye on.
And it also depends on how often and where and when you can dump your tanks. Because you might be fortunate enough to have a sewer dump right there. You might have to break the camper down and bring it a couple hundred feet to the dump station. It depends on what you're paying for and what they have available. We'll talk about that in a minute. Unlimited supply of water is hooked up here. When you don't have a water supply and you're boondocking, you have a freshwater tank that you fill from the back and you bring water with you. Just like putting fuel in your Jeep. Yep. You put water in this tank. You just hold the hose
I think
here,
I've
fill it
seen
up.
people do that. They do that like truck stops,
How many gallons is that?
20-foot Caravel, I should know. I think it's like 25 or so, 26 gallons, somewhere around there.
Hose fill it again? Or?
Just bring the hose over. You need a water supply to do that. So like I have water in it now for demonstration purposes. So I filled it yesterday until it spit out, and then I knew it was full.
And that's what you want to do?
It's up to you how much water you want to bring.
Okay.
If you're going to be at this festival or whatever it is for 3 days straight with no water in sight, you want as much water as possible.
So you want it to fill 100?
If you don't want the extra weight of the water, because this tank full could weigh 220 pounds or so, and it's extra weight, it's a whole other person or so, then you don't fill it as much.
Okay.
Up to you. If
You could also fill it wherever you...
Right.
Exactly.
In your travels.
Yeah.
So if you're going
that
to a
makes
campsite
sense.
for a couple of days
It's just
straight,
about planning it out a
yes,
little
it is.
bit.
Yeah, just as long as you know where you're going.
Yeah.
You only know it's full if it spits.
Well, that's the easiest way, and it's only clean water, so it's not a big deal. But if the gauge on the kitchen wall.
Yeah, that's for all the tanks and stuff too.
Right.
Yep. If I push that button once, I'll show you later. It'll tell you what's in there. But if you push it twice, it stays lit, and it'll tell you. And as you're filling it, you'll watch it 10%, 15%, 20%.
that as well?
Yep. Between trips, if you don't want water sitting in there for long periods of time, say you're not going to use it for 3 weeks. Let's just say. Look under here. This valve right here. You see that in the camera?
It's got the turn there.
It's got the turn valve right there. There's drains on the ground.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Simple as that.
Easy enough. And then it'll just let it drain. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
This
So,
trailer.
At a campsite, we're using that. Boondocking, we're using that.
Yep. So right now we're not hooked up. So we're using that tank. In order to use that tank for your supply, you have to turn on a water pump, which we already did. I'll show you later. Turn on the pump, and then the pump runs every time you turn a faucet on. It pumps the water. So you might even hear it. It's kind of quiet, but a little vibration in there. Yeah. I really wish they would change this outside spigot, because that's about the max pressure you get on this. It's just this spigot. It's just horrible. But you can change it to something else if you want.
Oh, so you can change the head.
Yep.
Okay.
This unscrews.
I saw a video where there's the new blue, like,
Yeah, the blue coiled one.
Yeah.
That's a lot better. None of these have it, I don't think. The pressure's good.
Made after March, okay.
It's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
that
that's
restricting
good
it.
pressure.
Yeah.
It's just the head.
It's just the head that restricts it. So,
Yeah.
going back to the water heater. The water heater is on right now, and it's in standby mode. So as soon as you turn on the hot faucet, which is the left one on here, it's going to do what that one was doing. So if I leave that on,
Oh, I hear it. Yep.
right there, flame just ignited. This is already warm to the touch. It'll eventually come out to the temperature that I set it for, and I'll show you that later. One thing you're going to have to get used to when you use any of your hot taps is turning on the hot tap only and making it the temperature that you want on the thermostat, not adding cold to get the temperature you want.
Got it.
You want your shower at 111, you set it for 111, going hot only, and it comes out at 111. You just got to get used to that. It's hot if you want to feel it. Put it I know you trust me, I'm sure, but
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I shut the faucet off. The flame already went out. It's cooling down, and that fan will shut off in a second. If you change this to something nicer, it's going to have a hard time fitting in there. That's the only thing.
Okay.
So
You can put it in any storage compartment,
Right.
and the
This-
back one in
Yeah.
there.
This is the same threads that are on your home shower at home. If you want to change it to something else.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it works for like rinsing off shoes and
Yeah.
dirt. So.
And this, because this compartment isn't big enough for this, and so sometimes the hose kinks, and with the hot water, it smooths it right out, you know. Okay.
Just kind of coil it in there and
Yeah.
shove it in.
Just shove it in, and that kink will be fine.
Yep.
Guaranteed.
And then it looks like there's another key.
751. It's on your ring, and I have a master here because it's a very common RV key, but it's on your ring as well.
751. Okay.
Yep.
So 001's for battery. 751 is for shower
And the tank fill.
and the tank fill.
Yep.
Anything else?
751. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Shower and tank fill.
City water.
Battery is 001, as is the lockable compartment in the front. The compartment like that.
Yep.
It's on the other side.
Yep.
That's the 001 key as well.
Okay,
The
great.
black keys are for locking the door and the deadbolt things.
Yep, yep.
Okay. All right. So unlimited supply is the top one, the blue one.
Yep.
Kevin, how's everybody? Awesome.
Is it New Jersey, not Connecticut? No.
It's a, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So New Jersey non-resident, which is fine anywhere in the country, yeah.
Okay.
And you're gonna get your Connecticut plates eventually, yes.
Okay. Do they come to the house or what do we do?
I believe they come here, and Bob can confirm that, and we will send them to you wherever you are. If you're out in camping in Texas, we'll send them to Texas, so you can put them right on the trailer. Yeah, wherever.
Yeah, no, they'll
So you don't have to come
wherever.
back here to get them.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Unlimited supply. And then the other one that's labeled brown with the caution sticker is the black tank flush.
Yep.
So with the process of the dumping the tanks, this camper and every other camper out there pretty much has a black tank and a gray tank for the waste. And black is sewage only.
Yep.
So you flush the toilet, it goes into this tank. You run the bathroom sink, kitchen sink, the shower, water goes down those drains into this tank. Sewage here, dirty soapy water from the sinks here. That's it. And they both drain out of there. When it comes time to dump, that same gauge I pointed to is going to show you the levels of these. Okay, take that off. The hose has that same fitting, this end. Clips in.
Yep.
The elbow hooks into the dump.
Yep.
And it's just gravity that's dumping them. So let's just say we're hooked up. Pull this directly out. It's just water I flushed down the toilet here. A little bit there. But obviously you just let it go, you know.
Yeah.
Empties out.
Is there a way to tell when it's done?
This is somewhat translucent or clear, whatever you want, whatever that word is.
Okay, yeah.
You can kind of see it, and you'll hear it. You'll hear it too. It rushes out pretty good, and then it just gets quieter and quieter.
Gray water to rinse out.
Rinse out the
So
hose.
you do black and then gray.
Black and then gray, if you have to get that.
Madison Chrysler is calling me.
So the process would be, if they were both full, empty the black first. Say that's empty. What you do now, if you have the ability to, if you have a campsite water hookup, is you hook up to this fitting right here with the campsite water. This one rinses out the contents of that tank. So if there's any paper or waste stuck to the side, there's a sprayer built in that this water goes in, sprays
And it
inside,
should be
right
the
back.
same hookup as this.
It's the
but
same
you
kind
just-
of hookup. Technically, you can take this hose off and use it right
I
here.
bought a second hose.
Good, because
I watched all the videos with
Good,
the
good.
lovely man, like, you know, kind of, that's apparently here.
yeah, there's a safety valve, there's a check valve in here to prevent sewage from coming anywhere near this hose that you're eventually going to bring here, but use a separate one just in case.
Yeah.
So it skeeves people out sometimes. I don't blame you. Use a separate hose. This rinses out the contents of the tank. It does its job and comes right back out because it's going to be hooked up with this open at the same time. Rinse water does its job, comes right back out. You don't rinse this with this closed. And that's what this sticker is reminding you to do. Because if you forget that you're doing that and you walk away, you're filling the tank through the sprayer, and then when it hits capacity, it's going to want to try to come up the toilet or up the vent on the roof. Then you got sewage water all over the place.
So real quick, just to
Yep.
make sure that I get that.
Yep. You got it on video too, and it's
Yeah.
You're doing better on that video than most people.
These GoPros are awesome.
I know.
So this needs to be open
Yep.
in order for that to be used.
Correct. It should be. It will. You can use it with it closed, but it's filling the tank
Yes.
through the sprayer. You're
You do
supposed
not want
to.
to fill the tank to capacity.
Yeah. So you want it to be
Right.
open.
You want it to do its job and come right back out.
So just leave that open. What about the gray one? Does that need to be open while?
Not while you're doing this. You always try to do one at a time.
Okay.
The proper process, if they were both full.
Black and gray.
Black,
Then gray.
rinse the black,
Rinse the black.
close this, follow it up with the gray.
Gray.
The last thing that went through this hose should be the soapy water here, which makes it as clean as possible.
But this has no relation to gray.
Nothing at all.
Okay, perfect. That's all I
It's
need.
a direct line,
So black, flush,
gray
Cool,
after.
and then close.
Never
and-
at the same time.
Okay, understood.
You get that cross-contamination. Not that anything's going to happen, but you don't want sewage water anywhere near the
gray water.
gray drains,
just
and then you might have a
anything-
sewage smell up in the sink drains. and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
so.
Okay, that makes total sense. Got it.
And
There's also a video of Joe Walsh.
Joe did it, yeah.
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah.
And what I just described was a scenario where they're both full. So there's probably going to be more often than not that the gray is full and this is not even close to being full. Showers and sinks. So if this, let's just say the black is 10% full and the gray is 100, no need to dump the black.
Just do the gray.
Dump the gray, continue using the black, and wait till it's as full as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Simple enough.
Is it just, how many people would be in here? Is it just
I
yourself?
mean, usually just going to be me, but I would say like I plan on taking a lot of trips with friends and the parents and stuff and filming it. I'm daily vlogging, so definitely going to get its use out of it. But I would say most of the time, probably one.
You're in total control of how much water goes down the toilet when you flush, and you'll see that. And you have a relatively small black tank on a 20-footer. You got the pedestal that the toilet sits on. The tank is in that, so it's only 15 gallons or something like that. I forget what it is. So
I think it's 18.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
It is.
18 is 3 of those buckets, 3 plus of those buckets. So
yeah,
that's a lot.
So don't poop a lot.
Yeah, don't
also,
poop.
when you lose,
Or poop all you want. Just
and just dump
when
it.
you're at a campsite, it's better to go in the bathrooms at the campsite.
that too.
Yeah.
And if they're clean enough and you don't want to bother with this as much, sure.
Yeah.
We have people that have never used toilets at all because they don't want to deal with that.
Oh, please.
Sometimes they only urinate in there. They don't want to deal with anything else. That's,
Yeah, but
yeah.
So my grandfather was.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to use the bathroom.
Yeah. They don't want to.
Oh, in
You
his
could pee-
camper?
You could pee, but you couldn't poop in it.
If you're doing it properly, it won't smell in there. If you're using the right chemical in the toilet paper, we'll show you that. We give you some, then you're going to be fine.
cool.
This open is cable hookup at a campsite, and it's
And
pre-wired
Ethernet.
for the Ethernet. But
Yep.
you're going to do something with that?
Yeah.
Starlink or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, we bought a Starlink.
Okay.
Oh, is that where the Starlink would?
That's where the I don't know much about the Starlink, but the Starlink plugs into that. It hangs out here, and then the other end of that Ethernet is in.
Kyle said he'd show me.
Cabinet up
He
there,
told
yeah.
me about the Starlink.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay. The electricity. This is your cord. You're taking this with you today when you leave. This piece unplugs just by squeezing. It's pulling right out.
Pull.
You got that little cover on the end. And now we're on battery again. Right now it's impossible to run the air conditioner or the microwave or the or electric heater as well.
Question.
Yep.
Is that a good length? Do we need an extender?
I don't see why this 30-foot cord would be too short, because generally when you get to a campsite, the power and everything is going to be
Literally
within
right
this
next
area
to
that we're
you,
stating
yeah.
at. And plus the 20-footer, you can get it closer to those hookups.
So question, if
Yep.
we have it parked in our driveway, right, like leave it unplugged, monitor the batteries, and then when batteries get low, plug it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it properly, if it's going to be stored at the house in the driveway, I would obviously unplug this. Kill the batteries, I'll show you that later. There's a master switch, it shuts everything off.
Okay.
Then the batteries, if you put it away at 98%, in next week it's going to be 97%.
Got it.
They don't drain.
I bought a 30 to 15.
And we give you one as well.
Okay.
Yep. So you have a 15 amp standard outlet at the house to plug it in?
We actually have one of the like.
We have 220.
Yeah.
To twisty?
We have both.
Okay. Because this is not 220 though. It is still 120 volt standard voltage coming out of every outlet in your house.
Yeah,
It's just
I
a 30 amp.
also have a plug.
Okay.
I'm a welder, so
Okay.
I have all
Yes,
the
so-
adapters. And I have one that.
So theoretically, if I was to
Not that one,
sleep
but similar.
but the-
Twisty.
in this in the driveway, we can plug it into the house, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
But it'll only run the amount of power coming out.
coming out of the outlet.
got it.
So if you use this, we give you this,
Nice little-
right? If you use, so that's the 30 amp. You're going to see it all at campgrounds.
We have one of those in the garage, just.
What it is.
But that's literally so we can literally plug it in.
Yeah, we have that in our garage.
You do have that in your garage?
Yeah.
It's because that's a trailer only 30 amp though. It's a travel trailer use only.
They're all different ones. The one we
Okay.
have in the garage is a pop in and twist.
Okay.
So it might look like that, yeah.
I have an adapter. Like
As
that
long
in
as
the
that
truck, though.
one in the garage, the twist is not 240,
Right.
then it's,
Yeah, you plug it into.
But we could theoretically have Craig come over and put in a 131.
okay. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and he would know.
You put it
But
in.
now we can plug into this.
Oh, all right.
And your Airstream is now literally
It's just as powered. Well, it's powered up just like it was over there. You just have half the power.
Half the
15
power.
amp and 30 amp.
And I bought a surge protector. Would
Good.
you and like yes?
Surge protector is good. It's going to help prevent those lightning strikes and things from damaging anything. It'll tell you how much power you're using if you got the nice one.
Okay, so just so I have it through my head, because this is the part that's been confusing me, is the electricity stuff.
Good.
So
I'm here to help. I mean,
no, it's good that you're here. But so 30, so that's 30, and then that's 15 when I plug it into a normal volt.
20, depending on.
It
could be a 20 amp.
Okay.
This particular one's a 20 because of that extra cross prong there.
Okay.
At camps, there's 20, 30s, and 50s. So far, I booked you only with 30s.
And 30s are those.
Right. It goes with your camper. When you book, you have to make sure that you're looking for 30 amps. If you have a 50 amp, there's a converter.
Another adapter. So come over here real quick. This particular garage where this trade wing is, this trade wing is a 30 amp trailer, just like yours. But this outlet in this particular garage is a 50. So this looks like yours, coming out of the trade wing.
Yep.
But this outlet is a 50 amp, which is that. And this is what you said you got or you're gonna get. Just in case you encounter a campsite that only has 50 like this, you can't plug it in. So, but this you could, excuse me.
So really, as long as you have the right adapters, you're set pretty much.
This is the only adapter you don't have.
Okay. But
Otherwise-
you...
No, well, Kyle. He's good.
Kyle's good.
Kyle's good. Kyle, like, I picked Kyle's brain, and Kyle was like, all right, these are the things.
And the Kyle I mentioned that's doing your hitch is a different Kyle.
All right.
We have two
Got
Kyles,
it.
so. 30 amp, we got the 30 amp, we got all that. Your window awnings. That just comes off, there's a spring in there. It just rolls right up. You use this to get up
All the way
the
up.
rest of the way. And then you lock it for travel.
And that's important.
Very important there.
Okay.
It's meant to not line up, so I struggle with it a little bit, but so that way it doesn't wiggle itself out on the
Try
road.
it here.
Yeah.
The trick with this is when you put that tip in there to twist it out, you gotta be from the other side.
Other way. Oh,
Yeah.
other one?
That's fine. Just be careful. Don't slip out.
Yeah, hold on. I got it. Let me get up there. Okay.
You might be able to reach by hand too, but no, that end, but you gotta come in.
I see. Okay.
So now the trick is when you have it in too far, it's bottoming out.
Okay.
So you guys just gotta use the tip. Yep.
I
Perfect.
see. Okay, and then
Yep.
I get it. And then when it comes
And it's
in,
the same going in. You can't have it in too far because it hits it, and you
got it. Okay, cool. Understood.
And then you just pull that right out.
All right, sweet.
Okay.
We gotta give you some camera training, Mama.
All right. Back awning. Same idea. It doesn't have a hook on the side like the other one did because there's a window here and it interferes with it, of course.
Yep.
So you got these rods that hold the awning out. And then when the awning is out, you just roll this up backwards like so, and the Velcro ends up sticking to the other piece of the Velcro
Which is in
there, and it stays up out of the way.
Cool.
So
And that's just really to cool down the, like.
keep the sun out of the kitchen. The other is to keep the sun out of the dining area in the bedroom. Makes the air conditioner work easier. And when it's time to roll this, you just pull this down, take the tension off. These go all the way around. Lift it up past that little nut. Just lift it to the side there.
Lift it to the side, I see.
There you go. And that's it. There's no lock on the back one because it doesn't catch any wind when you're on the road. It just goes right over the trailer, of course.
Cool.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Very easy. And that's all the rest of the stuff we give you. The toilet paper, RV Marine, chemical for the toilet.
A lot more.
Breaks down the waste, controls the odors. It could be liquid, powder, anything.
Airstream supplies, my friend. Man.
Yep. You got a cart full of stuff, right? Or it's at the house already, maybe? Yeah.
It's at the house already.
Yeah. 751. Boom. Water hose. Electrical adapter we talked about. Gloves to wear when you're dumping the tanks. If the dump station doesn't have a hookup to hook this up, they want you to use a gasket to seal it up as much as possible. So you got that. The hose from the grill, the stabilizer jack handle, and then the other thing I didn't mention yet is the the lug wrench for changing a flat tire.
Okay.
You don't have a jack, you have to use the Jeep's jack to jack it up. But you have this to change the tire, take the tires off.
There's actually more storage in there than it really shows in the videos.
Not very much. You're gonna need to use under that bed.
No, I mean
Under the
absolutely, but I mean just for like even like you know
The bed has
like
more.
appliance kind of stuff, like tools and stuff. I could put a toolbox right in the back
the
there.
question is like, how do people like carry that Weber grill? Come on, like where the hell would it go?
Yeah, the 20-footer has a lot of storage under the bed, and those Sterilite bins come with it.
Yeah.
But you can't keep the bins and the grill in there. The grill would fit under there. You got to take a couple of bins out.
Yeah.
But I prefer this.
And under the on the floor under the table, as long as it's secure, you got all that floor space.
Yeah. I mean, really, if you're stopping at campsites, the grill's coming out, you know? So it's only in there when you're traveling, really.
You want to keep it away from the weather, though.
Yeah,
Being
true.
stolen.
Yeah, like if it's gonna rain outside. And,
Lockable, waterproof compartment.
and is that
this is
001?
This is 001, yes.
Got it.
Just like the battery.
Yep.
This is neither lockable or waterproof in
Okay.
here. So whatever you put
But
in
it's
there,
just got a little thing.
latches
What
it
else do you
shut.
keep in there? Extra
Blocks
hose.
extra hoses, blocks of wood, anything that you don't mind getting wet or possibly stolen.
Stolen, yeah.
They're too valuable.
Cool.
And obviously the windows will be shut and latched for travel.
And that camera.
Is going to be on, projected onto this monitor.
That we need to
Which-
get my cigarette lighter re-added for.
Re-added or USB to a cigarette adapter.
Okay.
We
They
might-
do make those,
I
right?
do make them, we might have them.
Okay. Good.
Because I know the Gladiator only comes with one socket, and when you do the Mopar brake controller, it goes in place of that, so.
Yeah.
Okay. But we can get it, if we don't have the part today, you can easily get it.
Yeah. Amazon or.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Overnight it, whatever.
We might have them in stock, so.
Sweet.
Okay. Furnace is back here. So when you have the heat on, this is red hot, just like the water heater was on the other side. It just gets hot, throws out some hot air, and
Okay. It doesn't look like it opens though.
no, it doesn't. We can take it apart to fix it, but
Okay,
you
cool.
wanna
But
return-
so one of those things that I just, if it's fucked up, bring it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I'm gonna turn that heater on so you're familiar with it, how hot it gets.
Oh, so like it gets hot out here.
Out there, yeah. So
I
that's
see.
one area
So
you
it's
don't want.
hot to the touch.
You don't want to put a table here.
Okay.
So this is cold now, and it's going to be like very hot shortly. So just be careful.
Yeah.
You'll hear the ignition.
Somebody grabbed the last Pottery Barns. Huh?
I think that might be the last Pottery Barn.
Crazy.
Yeah.
In the country?
Yeah.
One of them.
That's crazy. Yeah. Those are beautiful.
They are, but like, tone, I like it. This terrifies me. I guess you just have to get used to it, right?
The size of it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that didn't ignite. I'm gonna try it again. Yeah, that one has electronics, the touchscreen, an app where you can turn the lights on and all that from the app. Open the awning from your app. And all that.
Yeah. All
It's a little
the.
much.
Yeah. That's like the, if you're gonna really luxuriously live on the road.
Long-term stuff.
Yeah. You got the wife, the kid, the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the nicer amenities
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, but you gotta get it places.
Then you got to get it places. So.
Yeah, and then you just gotta leave it, is really the thing.
If this doesn't ignite again, I'm gonna try one more time. I might have to have service take a look at it. I had everything working yesterday because it's my job is setting them up, but it's not. It doesn't seem to do it right now. It would have ignited by now. Easy fix. I'm just telling you that it will be fixed before you leave and shown
Yeah,
to you.
no worries.
And shown to you, yes.
Is the propane on?
Propane's on, but the next step isn't even happening. The clicking and the igniter, which tells me it's either a sales switch or the circuit board. Stove is fine. So we're gonna try it a couple more times, but it will be fixed before you leave and shown to you. So
Sweet. Yeah, no worries.
okay. Awning. Matter of fact, let me tell Christine.
This awning works the same as the other one?
No, this one's more involved. So
Okay.
it's good that you're doing the video because this one has extra steps, extra anchors.
Yeah, I see one there.
So it has the hook like the side awning had here,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but it also has these wheels. So let me get
Yeah, take your time, dude.
Yeah,
Some scenic shots. There's the inverter. Come on.
Are you serious with me?
Come on. Don't push me. That's actually really is deep storage, I guess.
I can't count my sheets. I guess I gotta buy them. More pillows.
All right.
All right.
The awning. So
Let's do it.
you don't have to have the doors shut, but I think it's actually your 20-footer. It's very easy to do with the door open.
Okay.
Sometimes on other models, this is right over the door and it's hard to get to. But
I see.
this is over here. So you're going to take this guy out, just like the other side. Okay. And you're going to use this wand to unscrew these wheels.
Okay.
Little by little, down on the left side, just like you're unscrewing it.
Mhm.
Okay? If you have a step stool, you stand on the step stool and do it by hand.
Oh yeah, it
It's
makes
a
it
lot
way
faster.
easier.
A
Yeah.
lot faster. And once you get the hang of this, it's not that bad. But eventually, you'll be able to do a 360. And when it's high enough to fall down to the side, then you're set.
Oh, nice and easy.
Later on, you're going to bring it up and tighten it down.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right, that's easy enough.
It's good. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And then the same thing on the
So
other
on
side.
this will fall to the left.
Taking the
big awning.
The big awning down. Yeah.
All right. Grab that, pull it right out. Once you have the strap in your hand, you're done with the wand for now.
Okay, cool.
You won't need that again. It's very easy to do with one person. Just watch your head there.
Yep.
There's a spring in this as well, so this wants to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that go. Okay. Hold on to, if you're doing it by yourself, hold on to it. I'm going to use my one hand to keep it out.
Okay.
It doesn't take much effort. You can see how light that is. It's not bad.
Yeah.
And then you're using the other arm to take this off right here. That just laying on that hook. That hook stays on the inside. It never crosses over and goes there. Do not put this here. Get that on video.
Okay.
Do not do this. Keep it on the inside, and it goes all the way to the top. Right there.
I see.
It sits
Okay,
on
I
the-
see why you say that. Got
Yeah.
it. Because
So it's
do
bad.
not put it there. Put it there.
Here only.
Here only. You got it.
The next, come on out here.
Yeah.
The next step for this is to grab this arm only and basically pull it right towards your face, and you're putting tension on the fabric here, outward tension, and it clicks. If you did that step when this was here, you're going to bend these arms.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. So now that I clicked it, it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere.
And then it's the same process on the other
Same
side.
here. Doesn't matter if front or back is done first. Does not matter. You can even grab this and push it outwards.
Okay,
However
perfect.
you want to do that, right? Now you have to get the height that you want, and you have to raise it up because you can't do the door yet. See that?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice and tight. Pull this guy out. And there's notches. See this? It was in that hole. There's a hole in this bar. There's only 4 holes, so it's in the first, second, third, fourth.
Okay.
So 3 are visible. You're in the 4th. There is not a 5th. The trick to make this easier for you is to start lifting on the 2, pull this out, start lifting, but let go of this.
And
Don't-
then just here
don't
for the
keep-
clicks.
Wait for the click.
Yeah, yeah. I do the same
If you
thing from.
keep pulling
yeah.
it, it's a pain.
Yeah. Easy.
Yep.
Got it.
If you go past this accidentally, it's only in there another couple inches, and it comes out, and you're in trouble. So it will come out. You got lights up top,
Okay, LED. Yeah, nice.
and then this.
It rolls up, and then I'm assuming there's a Velcro strap up there.
Similar.
Oh, it's
Just a little loop, but you
Got
just tuck
it.
it in.
Yeah.
No reason to anchor this to the ground or anchor the whole awning to the ground, because no matter what, the wind and the rain are going to damage it no matter what you do. So put it away when it's windy, rainy. Monitor the rain though. It's nice to sit under here when it's raining.
Just not pouring.
Not pouring.
Got
Gentle rain, it's kind of cool to sit under there and just kind of watch the rain. But
Cup of coffee. Yeah. Beautiful.
if you have to put it away wet, you have to. Open it up the next day, let it dry out. It doesn't really stay wet. It beads off like a freshly waxed car. So, and if you want to limit, I mean, it's so tight, the 20-footers has such a tight, short awning that it doesn't really collect water, but to help eliminate that, you can lower this side
Lower
down,
it and then.
it runs off the edge.
Could you? Can I try putting it down now?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
So let's do the strap first. Get that strap down and ready for you.
Okay, cool. Strap ready. Is there a side you suggest starting with? Or?
Starting side, no, but it's easier to be under the awning to do it.
Okay.
So left hand right there. Just be careful you don't want to pinch your hand here.
Okay, so, and then I turn this?
No, pull it straight out.
Straight out.
You don't have to stop at each notch. You can go all the way to the first one.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Lift that up a little bit so it engages here. There you go.
Yep.
Same in the front.
Got it. Cool.
It up again? Okay, good. Next will be to take this off, but you have to relieve the tension that we put on it.
Okay.
By pulling this.
Pulling that.
Let me do it real quick and I'll show you, and then
Yep.
you can do it. So I like to put my thumb here and use my two fingers and just pull that down.
Mm-hmm.
And you're relieving that tension that I put on.
I see. Okay. All right. Got it.
So like this. Yep. Oh, that's just a little cover that comes on.
I see. Cool.
Lift that straight up.
Yeah. And then.
Compress it, make it shorter, and
And
hang
then
it,
come through straight.
hang it right back on there.
Okay. Sweet. And then
Now,
do the same
same in
to
the
the
back.
other side.
Now the trickiest part now is when you release that tension, the spring is going to want to roll this up.
Okay.
So let me show you again and then I'll have you do it.
Okay.
Be under the awning.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes is your hand here, because once I do this, my left hand is stopping it from rolling up now. It doesn't take much effort. But if I let it go, it'll go.
Okay.
So, and then you would, I'll have you do it, but
Yeah.
put it right back up and make your way to the strap to roll it up.
Got it.
Then it doesn't take much effort to do this.
Okay.
Again, try that.
All right. So you want to get under.
Yep, under is always easier.
Okay. So grab here and then right here.
You have
Yep.
to hold it.
Okay.
Pull that straight down. Keep holding it with your left hand.
Yep.
Lift this straight off. Yeah.
Oh,
left hand.
right. Lift. Pull back.
You can easily reach that
Yep. Beautiful.
and work your way to the middle.
Yeah.
Have the strap ready.
In hand.
Excuse me, have the rod ready, which it is.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Because once you can't reach it anymore, you're going to need that. So come out here.
Okay. Can I hold this
Yep.
down?
Oh, yeah.
Just making sure.
Come on out here.
Yep.
You got that tight?
Yep.
Ease it up as much as you can, and then use this end
Right
in the
there.
loop to get it up. Now, if you're just going to roll it up for the night and open it up the next day, you just leave it like this.
Okay.
You just got to anchor it all three ways if you're going to hit the rope.
Yeah. Right.
Do the hook first. Definitely the hook first.
This one first?
Yep.
Okay.
And then the
Boom.
wheels. Stand that up.
Yep.
Tighten it down. Perfect.
Again, a step stool would be
Little by
very.
little there to tighten that down.
Yeah. Getting video, Dad? I guess.
Bring it down as tight as you can with the rod, and you're absolutely fine.
As tight as you can, you said?
Yeah, so you can with that, that's all you need. The same effort you would shut off your backyard spigot with. You don't want to go crazy with it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I see you're pulling out pretty good. That's
That's
pretty
good?
good, yeah.
All right,
And
cool.
do the same up front. And honestly, once we get inside, the rest of the class on the inside is just so much easier. You know, it's light switches and water heater and the air conditioner, it's simple.
Yeah.
There you go. Try to stay on the right side little by little.
On the right.
Until it seats
I
itself in there.
see. Yeah, yeah.
I use the rotary phone reference, so I'm not sure you're old enough to know that.
No, I get it. I get it.
Okay.
I'm hip. I'm hip in the unhip, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, there we go.
I mean, we've also had people forget to anchor the awning, and it's totally fine on the road. There's just so much spray tension there. Yeah, so but you just want the air.
But you want to make sure.
Oh yeah. And that's the reason that red tip is on there for what just happened to you. When it slips out
and it
don't
smacks.
scratch the trailer.
I think that's pretty in there, right?
Let me see real quick.
Yeah.
Get a feel for it.
Oh no! I just wasn't grabbing it
more.
in the right space.
Yep.
Okay, I
You
see.
get more effort.
Great.
Now you got light switches and thermostat, TV. It's simple. So you got this one. Is this light? Sorry, right here by my hand.
Oh, okay.
I see. These identical switches. The one on the left is the ceiling lights. You just tap it.
Cool.
And the one on the right is the strip that was in the awning.
Cool.
And they're both dimmers, so if they are on, you lightly cover that little light with your fingertip. You're sensitive on how you touch it. There it goes.
I see. Just like a normal kind of light.
Yeah, you can't just like lightly push it. You got to kind of push it, but it doesn't move. It's just a strange. You'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, I
You know?
see. Yeah. I'm hip.
And wherever you leave the dim setting, it stays there. So
Oh, okay. So it's like
programmable, if you will.
I see. Yeah.
There you go.
Cool. Easy enough.
All right, go ahead inside.
All right.
You guys can go in. You guys need to see it. I've seen them all, so.
I heard that is it true that they've remade the box so that people aren't getting locked out?
Not as often. It still can happen. So, if you want to get a video of this,
This is important.
Oh.
it still can happen, but it's less likely.
So don't buy the thing on Etsy, buy the thing on it, like buy the lockout thing.
I mean, do they make a lockout thing
Yeah.
for this new one? They do? Okay. I'm a big believer. My keys are always in my pocket. That's just me. And I'm unfortunately never going to lock myself out because they're always in my pocket. But if you had your keys on the table and on purpose, let me look here. So on purpose or accidentally you did that and shut the door and you're locked out. It's less likely to happen on this new lock. You can get a third set made and hide it underneath in one of those magnet cases so you always have one nearby. Whatever you want to do.
Or in the Jeep.
Or in the Jeep.
Or in
right.
the Jeep.
As long as you have your Jeep key handy, you'll be fine. Doorknob and deadbolt that pops out. And you have 2 keys on here to do that as well.
Okay, I see.
So again, on purpose or accidentally. Maybe you just went to close the door and you accidentally did that. You'd be
Yeah,
locked out,
buy the
so
lock thing.
do something, yeah. It's probably just something physically you have to move out of the way before you do
exactly,
that.
Yeah.
And I think you have to move it out of the way if you use the key as well. Yeah.
Okay, but it's just like it's a normal.
It's a normal thing,
Yeah.
Very important to double lock the door when you hit the road. More so in your case because your door opens toward the back.
Okay.
So if you thought it was latched, these shut so much better than the old ones too. But if you thought it was latched and it wasn't, and you hit a bump and it just hyperextends and slams open, you got damage everywhere. So
Just make sure it's shut.
shut 100% and
Lock
at the bare minimum, the deadbolt, then it's physically impossible for it to open.
Yeah.
But you do the doorknob as well.
Yeah, just to be safe. Got it.
All right. And then you have a separate
Screen door.
no longer winterized. So take that off.
And then there's this.
That piece slides over.
Ah,
And the reason it's there is to grab this, of course, and you can pass things out through.
okay, I see. Yeah.
And then when you never want to shut this door onto that door.
Okay, so
Sandwich them together first. Lift that up.
up. And then up again. Got
And
it.
then shove it together.
Cool.
So I can work our way front to back. You have another one of these dimmer switches around the corner in the bedroom to do those 3 ceiling lights in the bedroom.
Oh, sweet.
You tap it, turn it on and off.
So it's right here.
Then I'm holding it, which is making it dimmer. Got some USB, USB-C.
Yeah, they have A and C on the USBs.
Beautiful.
There is a radio up here with a single USB, and that's the old USB. That's tied to the radio for iPod.
Yep, yep.
The radio's not touchscreen.
Okay.
It's a JL radio. It's pretty good.
Sweet.
Bottom left is power, AM, FM, USB, and Bluetooth. Just pair your phone.
And Bluetooth.
Yeah, just pair your phone. That's what people do.
Sweet.
So you just quick push that same power button, which is the
Source. Yep.
and
Aux.
use the volume knob.
Is there an aux cable?
No, there's aux, but they don't use it. They don't even wire it in.
Okay, cool.
Pretty much nobody uses it anymore.
Yeah.
You go to,
Oh, but they do have a USB plug.
that's this one.
Okay, cool.
But if you go to Bluetooth,
Yeah.
and you're in pairing mode, and JL.
I'm actually just
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right
JL
now, it's
Media
good.
Master, I think it comes up.
JL Medias. All right. Got to show the vlog. They have to be a part of every facet of my
Nice.
life.
Right?
Plastic still on the mattress. Gotta take it off.
Yep.
Right?
We always leave that on.
Here.
So when it was on the lot, I'm sure people have seen it, and other people have been through it. We always leave the plastic on. Yep.
Oh, you have to do it up there.
Confirm,
I
yeah.
see.
That's a new. You didn't have to do that previously. The newest radio. Now you do. Or now you're connected.
Okay.
Counting Crows. Oh my God.
Let's see.
Is that what you were just listening to?
I've been listening to a lot of Counting Crows, but I want to see how.
One of my all-time favorites.
Really?
100%.
I love the Counting Crows.
Since August and everything after. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hold on, let's see. Let's just hear it. Okay, there we go.
And they're playing with Gaslight Anthem.
I listen to Lithium every day, and and Cat Corbett tells me all about it.
So if you're connected, you got to crank that up as well as your side volume. Yep.
Now you said side volume. Oh,
Side
on
on
the phone.
You have to have them both on.
What's that running off of?
Battery.
Battery.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everything in here runs on battery except for the air conditioner and microwave. Okay.
Sweet.
And every time you turn a radio on, if your phone's nearby, it's going to connect just like the Jeep.
Sweet.
If you're going to connect to the Jeep when you're towing, of course, just make sure this is off.
Okay,
So
and
it doesn't
just
connect
hold
to
it.
this. You just hold it again, so it doesn't connect to this.
So there's an inverter there.
There's an outlet in there. There's an inverter
Right.
outlet over here. We're gonna
One
talk about
right
that
here.
soon. Yep. There's an inverter in there too.
Yep.
So you saw it, so we'll talk about it. Every outlet in the trailer is live right now because we're plugged into shore power. Every single outlet. That one, this one.
Oh, I see there's one down
under
there too.
This one's live.
Okay.
That one's live. Bedroom. Every outlet. And when you unplug, none of the outlets work.
Okay.
The inverter button is in the kitchen on the wall. When you push that button, the inverter outlets will be live off of your battery power.
Okay.
Temporary power. This one here.
Okay.
Right there. Power button on the right.
Yep. And then what's the left one do?
The left one changes the display. Battery voltage. It's putting out 125 volts of AC power and no display. So you just look at what you want to look at.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. And then big plus on that. Well, not a plus. You have to turn this off when you're done with it.
Okay.
You can't just leave it on 24/7 when you're boondocking. So you gotta hold this until it's a full display and it shuts off.
Cool.
Temporary power at those outlets when you're boondocking. You don't leave it on 24/7.
Okay.
Perfect for charging that laptop you mentioned.
Perfect.
I wouldn't use it for charging phones when you're boondocking because you have the USBs for that.
And I can also do that in my car.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's more for like if I am sitting boondocking right here and I'm editing and I need charge for my
Charge
laptop.
for your laptop, you plug it in up there.
Cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that one's not.
Not
an inverter.
that's just
Yeah.
a normal power. But there are 3 inverters, so that is good.
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty good on a 20-footer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago, not anymore. Years ago, they put the outlets by the TV, so rainy days you could plug the TV into it and use it on the batteries. But these are battery-powered televisions now.
Okay.
They're just wired right to the batteries.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
12-volt televisions. You just use this for anything. On the inverter, when you're using the inverter, it's a 2,000-watt inverter. So you can plug in a hairdryer. Not that you're using it, but a hairdryer would be 1,500 watts. That's fine. You can't plug in a hairdryer here and a coffee pot up there at the same time. It's one at a time.
Yeah, I don't think
turn it
I'll
off
ever
when you're done.
be
Yeah.
doing that. But say theoretically, if I were to have to like charge my laptop and also maybe like charge my GoPro batteries.
Does that require an outlet too, or USB? The GoPro battery.
It's a USB, but I normally plug it into the wall.
With a phone adapter.
Yeah,
okay.
like with a brick.
With a brick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you suggest there? Would you suggest just...
I would just do the USB.
Okay.
It uses less power. Having the inverter on making electric power at the outlets is going to drain those lithiums quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when I'm at a campsite, none of this matters. This is specifically for boondocking.
And you can also... Does your Jeep have an outlet like this in the dash or in the console somewhere?
It used to.
Sometimes
my old
do.
Jeep did.
Because you can charge a laptop on the way.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, the Jeep is perfect. I have, I think, 3 USB-Cs and 3 USB-As in there.
Okay, yeah. Nowadays...
Actually, 4 USB-As and 3 USB-Cs.
My Hyundai has 5 USB. They're all A's. It's a little older, but...
no,
you can charge everything now.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about the charging, really. And especially if I'm plugged in, it's not even going to matter.
TV articulates toward the bed or whatever, and then when you're hitting the road, you just...
Yeah, is there a latch or something? Or it just pops right in?
Straight back.
Cool.
And then when it's time to move it, to articulate it, this strap has to be pulled straight down, but the countertop's in the way. So you just kind of use your finger.
I see, like a little leverage.
A little leverage to pull it down.
Very cool.
Battery-powered television, and it's smart, so if you end up getting internet in here...
Oh, wonderful.
You can sign into your Netflix.
And are there like HDMI ports or something? Yes. Like if I wanted to connect a Nintendo Switch per se?
Here, so
right there
is HDMI.
Yep.
If you put the switch up here, plug it into that HDMI, it shoots right over to the TV.
Sweet. And there's the other connection for the Ethernet.
Ethernet.
Sweet.
Cool. Or, so this HDMI is that one up there.
Okay.
Or there's 2 others right here. You can just plug right into the television if you want.
Oh, like from the device right in.
Have the switch here or whatever it is.
Cool. Okay.
Dock for the switch can go
I don't really play video games too often anymore, but I figure like if I'm gonna be out on the road, living on the road, like it'd be nice to have just a switch to kill some time. But yeah.
And nowadays, if you had a Xbox or
Xbox,
PS, they're DVD players as well. So
yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. Fan above us. Right here is a power button. Right there.
Okay.
Push that power button. The lid opens. It's an exhaust fan on plus and minus on the fan speeds. There's another one over there by the kitchens. It just gets to hot. You can probably feel that air coming through the door right now.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's nice, yeah. If you don't need heat or AC, you got the fans on, it's good. Rain sensing fans, so if it rains, it shuts.
And it does it pretty quick.
Very quick.
Cool.
So if it's sensor, you might get a couple of drops in here, but the sensor has to get a certain amount of wet before it closes. But if it got wet, it would just do this right here. Same thing when you hit the power button, it closes.
Okay.
That power button,
and if the motor stops working, I see that's where you would do it manually.
That's how you manually open the lid, yes.
Okay, but it should be fine.
It should. I mean,
yeah.
They can fail, but you can.
But
the rain sensor wouldn't work at that point, though.
Okay. But then just take it in.
Very rare, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
The fans by the bedroom always have the shade. To
awesome.
Keep the sun from waking you up if you want, and pull down shades on the windows.
Anything I need to know about the AC ducts? Because I noticed that there's like
they're adjustable in direction.
Yeah.
And you can turn them off and on with the gray plastic one.
Okay.
So direction here and on off with this one.
Which one's off?
If you have to look at it to see. So it's.
I see. I get it.
That's closed.
Yep.
That's open.
I see. So towards circle is closed.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Easy enough.
Intake here, filters here.
Yep.
Take these 4 screws out. Take this down.
And it's just normal.
It's a 12 by 12 filter you get at Home Depot.
Perfect.
Fits in there, screw it right back on.
Cool. Smoke alarm.
Yes, that one's smoke. This one by my foot is carbon monoxide and propane.
Awesome.
Breaker box is here. This is where I got that code for the shunt, the smart shunt.
Okay.
It was on that sticker right there.
Perfect.
And if you forget it, it's right there. Bluetooth pin.
Yep.
And then you can get into the app and change it to whatever you want, of course.
Sweet.
Fridge. If you take the go ahead.
No, you're good.
Bottom right drawer, if you take that out, there's the control for the temperature.
Okay.
A black knob back there.
Yep.
Zero's off, minimum, maximum. Maximum is coldest, of course.
Grab me the book.
The what?
Book.
Oh.
And
Freezer. Sweet.
very nice. 12 volt, runs on those batteries only.
Gotta give it a little force.
You usually don't. I don't like that either. You can adjust that maybe. Should be a simple adjustment, but yeah, I don't like that. I'll have you take a look at that as well. And we're gonna try that furnace one more time too. Actually, if you want to switch spots with me, I'm gonna have them.
Okay.
I'll show you that thermostat. This is the service lady, not personal.
No, you're good. You're good.
What do we do without these phones? I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your options, this is your thermostat, heating, air conditioning, all that. So I'm gonna hit the mode button. The next available appliance comes right up on this little screen here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will turn them on and show you everything working. So off.
Mm-hmm.
Your options are fan only,
Mm-hmm.
air conditioner,
Mm-hmm.
electric heat pump,
Mm-hmm.
heat pump and furnace,
Okay.
just the furnace, or off.
Okay.
So here's the air conditioner.
Okay, that's what I'm going to be using for the next couple of months.
Couple of months. That piece of metal in your hand just now is the base that came with the television. If you wanted to sit it on something, then you don't need it because it's hung on the wall, so they just give it back to you.
Okay.
And by the way, we're not streaming anything. You see it's a little pixely because we're using the antenna,
Okay.
and we get poor pictures or poor quality in the building, but you do get over the air channels. So,
Oh, wow.
yep.
Okay, so I have a question.
Mm-hmm. While we're waiting for this, sure.
Yeah. So this is a forward question, which is probably going to already be answered.
Yeah,
But
it's fine.
the heat pump and the furnace, what would that ever be used for? If it's like really,
If it's warm enough outside for the heat pump to work over 40, but you want it to be warmer in here quicker, you can run them both at the same time.
got it. So it's just a
Fast. The
Okay.
speed of how warm you want it in as fast as possible. Yeah.
okay, but there's no like it's not for like if you're out in -40 or
No.
anything.
Heat
Okay,
pump.
You are
just
not going to be in
well,
this
no, I'm
at
just
40.
making. Well, I'm just making sure. You got to ask questions. You got to know. You got to know.
And if it was
Just making sure.
if it was 10 degrees outside and we were plugged in outside and we turned the heat pump on, the fan would come on, but it would never get hot.
Okay, got it.
You're not
You're
damaging it.
only the furnace.
Yep.
Yeah, got it. Okay. That
And to
makes
be
sense.
clear, below what he needs to have it winterized.
Below, so we all know water freezes at 32.
Mhm.
If you have 1 or 2 nights where it gets to 30 at the lowest, you're going to have the furnace on anyway, and that's going to protect your tanks. But if it's 25 degrees 24/7 for 3 or 4 days straight, you really got to think about having it winterized, because those
Okay.
propane tanks have 3.
And what does that include? Like, what's
there
the
is
process of that?
There's a pink non-toxic antifreeze, like
Okay.
car antifreeze, but not toxic at all, that literally gets pumped into the faucets. You have antifreeze coming out of here. Through every faucet, all the pipes are filled with the antifreeze and they won't burst and crack and freeze.
And it's non-toxic. at all?
Non-toxic. This
Okay.
was winterized and now it's not. So
Okay.
I flushed it all out yesterday or the day before, and in preparation for you picking it up.
Okay.
And the manual is going to show you how to do it. There is a kit built in on this one. Let me see. Where you can easily do it yourself.
Storage.
You need a screwdriver. There's storage here.
Yep.
Which is the same as this door.
Yep.
But under, if I take this screw out and this screw out, take this off, the water pump is there, and there's a 4-foot hose that you stick into the gallon of the antifreeze, and when you turn the pump on, it sucks the antifreeze in.
Okay.
You open up the faucets.
And that's all that you need to do for winterization.
You just also you have to remember to pump antifreeze through every faucet. So let's say you did this, and you pumped antifreeze through here, antifreeze, sink, shower, but you forgot the outside shower.
Yeah.
That's susceptible to freezing, so you got to make sure you get them all.
Okay, so just anywhere where water can come out, you need to make sure you run it.
Comes out, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Now,
4 places: that, shower, like sink, and outside shower.
Call it 5. Call it 9
She's got
spigots.
hot and cold.
So hot and cold.
Okay,
that's
got
2.
it.
Outside shower, hot and cold.
Cold.
Inside shower, hot and cold. Bathroom sink, hot and cold,
Cold.
and toilet.
now question, like you say you have to run it until the antifreeze comes through, how do you tell?
It's
It'll
pink.
be pink here instead of water.
Okay.
It'll be solid pink.
It'll be solid pink.
Yep.
And it's good to use?
No.
It's non-toxic and it's harmless, yeah.
Well, except
So like you shower and it's pink water?
Oh, no. You're winterizing it, getting it ready for winter storage. I mean, see, most people winterize them for the winter and they leave them idle for 3 months.
I see.
You're not living in it.
And then you're not living in it, right.
Okay.
If you put the antifreeze in,
Antifreeze just keeps it from all the stuff from freezing and bursting.
right.
Got it.
which
Okay.
means you need to be in Arizona in the
Which
winter.
means I need to go to like Texas.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
winterize
You
it,
technically shouldn't be winterizing it if you're going to be staying in it all the time.
correct, yeah.
Okay,
But
cool.
Once you winterize it, it's winterized.
You have to be careful because
Then it's
even
stored.
If it's 50 degrees the next day, you gotta flush
like
out the
what we do
antifreeze,
up at the
and then it's
camp.
20 degrees again, you gotta winterize it again.
Okay,
Be in warmer
so
climate.
it's just like, let's say I'm in Arizona, the temperature is nice, but then I drive to Denver, and then for some reason the temperature drops in Denver to 20 degrees and it's about to snow. Winterize it,
But you
right?
can still live in it.
Still live in it, but don't use the water
Correct.
for a few days until the temperature, because Denver, right, picks
And
back
for
up.
$5 a gallon, $6 a gallon, it costs you $20 to winterize it. You're saving a lot of headaches, you know.
Okay, so just if I'm going through cold areas.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I can also always drain the water, right? The freshwater tank.
Drain the freshwater tank, drain the black and the gray, but when you drain those tanks, there's still water in the faucet. There's
So
still
just
water
make sure
supply.
that you exit those out,
Yeah.
so the lines don't
You
burst.
have to use the pink stuff.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm aware. I just want to make
Guarantees-
sure. I
guarantees
just want to
you
make
do.
sure I make it clear
And
in
what
my
I just
mind.
described over here is in the manuals as well. It's very simple to do.
Yeah. No,
They
it
make
seems
it easy to do.
it seems simple to do. So,
So this is nice and cold. You feel those.
yeah, no, it feels great in here.
So I'll switch it to heat pump. I have it cranked up to 85. So it's going to take a minute or two to switch over to a heat pump. And while we're waiting for that switch over, it takes a couple minutes. You just got storage here. Just a little storage here, nothing crazy.
Yeah, for some spices or something.
This rectangular light and the one over the table needs a little tap on the left side.
Oh, okay.
Not
Yep.
here, not here.
Yep.
Here. And I think that one's on the right side. No,
Yep.
it's left. Left as well. So they're both on the left. Light,
Yep. Fan.
fan. The igniter is built in on this, so you push it down.
Sweet.
That's because of the propane being on, of course.
Nice. Beautiful.
So you're cooking, you got the light, definitely the fan. This one might not be enough. You got this fan right here. It's also going to help get that out of here.
Still
Switching
working.
over.
Yeah,
It's not-
it's gonna
it'll be
take some
hot.
time.
It'll be
Yeah,
hot.
I believe. I believe.
But I'm gonna leave it out. I gotta show you though.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like that furnace, it's bugging me.
Yeah.
So we'll get you. Come on in here. And this is where we do the water heater.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go back to the thermostat because we're waiting on the heat pump. Light switch, water heater. Water heater off, water heater on, and you get that display. Whatever number is on that screen is the temperature the water is going to be at the faucet. So
At hot.
you only turn on hot. You don't go in the middle. You either go cold water or you go hot water.
Oh, always.
Always.
Always. Either hot or cold.
Never in the middle. So
Okay.
let's just say, well, let me show you first.
Yep.
Let's say you want 121. I'm just going to pick a number. When you turn the faucet on, this is going to start doing its thing. It'll tell you the temperature of the water right now, 70 something probably. You'll have a fire that comes up telling you it's making hot water, and you'll see that number rise. So water's about 77. We're gonna have a little fire here in a second. Right there. Now the water's 80, now it's 86, now it's 95, now it's 97. It's taking a couple of seconds to pump its way over here. Because your water heater's all the way up there, remember?
Yep.
It's already hot here. It'll eventually be the temperature that you left on the screen. So if you know, it's still climbing.
113.
Yep, 15, 17, I left it at 121, so it's gonna keep getting hotter. The same happens in there in the shower, full-blown hot. So let's say you were, let's just say this was the shower and it was too hot for you, and you would normally add cold.
Yep.
Once you get to a certain point here, that fire is right there, went away. Now it's just ice cold water again.
Yeah.
You've got to leave it over here for it to do its thing.
You have, I see. So, just like, say I'm in the shower and I need it to be cooler, just come like kind
You
of
have to do
reach
it
over.
here. It might be experimental at first, and then once you know your shower temperature is 111, let's just say, 111, straight up hot, and it comes out at your temperature.
Cool.
You never mix it.
There's another one that's not an inverter.
Not an inverter. It's just those three that we
just
saw.
shore.
That's where it flushes with a foot pedal.
And then it fills up with water, like, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so it's a multi-function like pedal, so if you push it all the way,
it opens, and then, but if you fill it halfway, it does,
there's a little resistance right there you can feel with your foot.
Yeah.
And it fills. And
I'm familiar with these toilets,
Anything past that. And this should activate the water heater as well. Right there.
Yep. And it's sputtering because it's
sputtering because these faucets, the water pump lets out more pressure than the faucets can handle. That's why it gets the sputtering.
Okay.
If you're on city water, you won't get that.
Okay. But that's when you're
Totally
boondocking.
Yeah, totally fine. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Feel that now, it's nice and warm.
Oh yeah, yep.
So now I can go heat pump and furnace, but I'll just go right to furnace and show you that. So the furnace, the gas propane furnace, only comes out these two on the 20-footer, which is plenty for the trailer, but it does only come out of these two vents. It's gonna be nice and toasty here, but it'll be eventually warm over there as well, of course.
Yeah. And so the heat pump is for under 40.
Over 40.
Or sorry, I meant the furnace is for under 40, heat pump's for over 40.
Right.
Got it.
The heat pump you got to be plugged in for.
Yep.
The furnace you can use when it's over 40.
Okay.
But that's still not working, so they're going to look at that. It shut down. If it made heat, it would have stayed running. So.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Convection.
And we're going to show you that working before you leave, so just guarantee.
Perfect.
Yeah, convection oven. 3 burners. We got the convection oven. You got to be plugged in for.
Yep. Beautiful.
Here is.
With air fry.
There's an air fryer. There's a convection oven. There's a broiler. All kinds of functions.
Oh, so it's everything that you could ever need.
Everything. It's all built into one, and it's good.
Oh, sweet.
Gauges. Black tank.
Yep. Gray, fresh.
Black tank, 0%.
And that's in percentages.
0 is empty.
Yep.
Empty. 69% on the fresh water. So.
Yep.
And battery voltage 13.6. If you remember, the app said 13.7, I think it did.
Yep.
So it's pretty close.
And the fresh water was the one you filled in the back, right?
Correct.
Yep.
So if you wanted to fill that tank, you can fill the tank, and when water spits out, you know it's full. Or if you wanted to put, let's say, exactly 75% in there, You can push it once and then push it again, and that little dot comes up.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be able to see it through the window as you fill it.
Yeah, that's smart. Okay, cool.
And stop at whatever level.
Cool.
Push it again to shut it off. Pump is on. That gives us the pressure here.
Okay. If it's off, it just means no water.
Off, no water.
Got it.
And you don't need the pump if you're hooked up to city water because you got pressure coming in.
Got it. So that's for boondocking.
This is only for boondocking using the tank as your supply.
Got it.
And there's a sprayer built in on this.
Sweet.
You just get that little pulsation on the pump. It's totally normal. Every one of them does it. Yep. And then sink covers, of course, but I don't trust these on the sink when you're traveling.
Okay.
Hit the brakes hard enough, they're gonna go flat.
Yeah. So what do you suggest? Just on something.
In there, in the closet next to the bedroom.
Okay.
Somewhere in the Jeep, in the drawers, maybe somewhere. Even like that is fine, but you know.
Sweet.
Any window that opens has a bug screen.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously this one's open. Those don't open.
Yep.
One in the front, two by the dinette, and this one. You have windows, but they don't open in there.
Perfect.
So to open the window, obviously it's open already, but to close the window, you're going to lift up on these brackets.
And then lift down.
Let it. You have notches. You can have it highest, middle, lowest,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the way down for shutting. Lift it up, and latch it over.
I see.
So they're facing each other for travel, out, down, lift.
Got it.
All the windows. The bigger the window, like the two by the dinette, they're a little harder to open because they're heavier. So you're lifting a little.
Yeah. But it's the same.
Same idea.
Got it. Cool.
If,
Awesome.
If if you can't lift that, let me see how those are. So if they've been closed for a long period of time,
Mm-hmm.
the gaskets, the glass sticks to the gaskets. You hear that little suction?
Yeah.
Because it was stuck. If you can't open that window,
Press
just
against.
if you can't open it just by doing this, go outside, use a credit card or something just to peel it away, and then you'll be able to do that, no problem.
Cool.
So try that. Yep. And then lift up on those. Yeah, that wasn't bad. But if it's been 100 degrees for a couple days and the sun's been beating on it, they're going to stick.
Okay.
You can lubricate them with silicone spray, the gasket.
How do you keep them open?
Lift up on that one as I do this one, and then there's a notch right there. If you look,
Oh, yeah.
there you
Yeah, got it.
That's the minimum right there. You got to latch them and shut them for travel, of course. So like the window's shut on this one, but it's not latched, and this could bounce around and break on the window on the way.
Yeah.
So up and push them in facing each other. There you go. Perfect.
There's the rig. Pretty sweet.
This is Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
Emerick, nice to meet you.
How are you guys? I'm Kyle.
This is my father, Justin.
Justin. How
My
are
mom,
you?
Kim.
Kim, nice to meet you guys. How are you guys doing today so far?
Doing good. You don't mind being on camera, do you?
Just $4.99 extra.
Oh, yeah. No worries. No worries. We'll give
Gotta
you your.
make a buck every way you can, right?
We'll give you your residuals. Yeah.
Alright, have you guys dealt with an Equalizer ever?
No.
Okay. First time towing?
For me, yeah.
Okay. A little bit. Okay.
Not like
no
this.
weight distribution, nothing like that? Just-
Snowmobiles is all I
okay. So you're just towing on a ball. Gotcha. Alright, this is how it's gonna look other than the block being there and the jack being halfway down. We're gonna go through all this, we're gonna take it off, we're gonna put it back on. If you have any questions throughout that process, please stop me and we'll go over whatever question that may be. So you do want your chains crossed. So we're just gonna unhook those now. 7-way plug, it's your lights, your camera, and your brakes to the trailer. Just lift up and pull out. It's just, this tab's gonna sit at that 12 o'clock position.
Okay.
We're just gonna move her out of the way. Now, do you know what this is?
Safety chain. Breakaway.
Correct. This is a breakaway. So it's a God forbid situation. If this pin pulls out, just like so, the brakes on the trailer will lock up, so you're not running after anything. The best way to install this is either you can intertwine it with your chain and hook it onto there, or you can physically pull it out, loop it through the receiver, just like so, loop it back through, and in. Completely up to you. Just make sure that that pin is in at all times. Technically it is connected to the batteries, so if you do have it unplugged, it's drawing power, which is going to the brakes, and this will get fried. Your batteries will be dead, brakes might be a little messed up for a little bit. So always keep that in. We do sell a $15 one. All it is a carabiner, and you never have to deal with this ever. You just latch it on like a chain. Completely up to you guys. I think it's like 10, 15 bucks. Completely up to you. I just
Would love that.
perfect. Okay. So never mind. Everything I just said about this, disregard. But we are going to put that back for now. All right. So now with the Equalizer bars, higher the better. So everything right now, all the way from the truck and the trailer's on it. So we're actually going to lift up on everything. She is going to be a little stiff for now. It is brand new, probably like 700 miles or so. You'll start feeling it being broken in. You're going to hear like a doop, 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 doop when you are turning. It's just the bar against the saddle because there is a little bit of wiggle room right here. I don't want you to think there's something wrong with it. A lot of people go, like the first turn they do, and they're like, turn right back around.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go up a little bit. And once you're able to kick the bar and you see it moving, you're able to do it. So I'm actually gonna come to this side and just show you this side first. So you go up and out, pull the bar towards us. There's a cotter pin right here. So we're just gonna pull that out, which makes the pin come out, which then the bar will slide out. The bar is a little heavy, I just don't want you guys to drop it on your toes the first time and then you start yelling at me.
Yeah.
And I always, when you're not using it, just put everything back together. You'll never lose it. Or you can use a Ziploc bag, put everything together, and then throw it, you know, next to the bars or wherever you guys are going to store this. I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Go up and out. Pull. Cotter pin. Pin. Bar. Got it. Now that the equalizer is off technically, we're going to go back down. See how the head's moving now? You see how the truck's going up? It's just showing you that the truck weight it's technically on the truck right now. And once we go down, now it's back on the trailer side. So we're gonna actually detach right now. We're gonna use this key.
Okay.
So this is gonna come over here. We're gonna slide this up just like so. Slide up, that's all it goes. Insert key, quarter turn, nothing crazy. It only goes one way. So about 2 o'clock, don't go any farther. Pull that out, one finger up. And I do want whoever it is to just feel that real quick and see how easy that is. Super easy, that's how it should be every time. If you are fighting to get it off, you gotta go a little bit lower.
Okay.
So I do want to show you the difference. So one finger, and you can see my finger's turning red.
Yeah.
Don't force it,
Yeah.
just go down.
So that just means you need to go down. If
Just a
it's
little-
fighting back, go down.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, and then we're gonna just go up.
And then we go up and then it should detach?
Correct.
Okay.
And then you would move the truck out. Sorry.
No, you're
Move the
good.
truck out and level the trailer out for the night, wherever it may be. And you're good.
Okay. And does that stays on?
It could if you want. It's completely up to you. It's the same style as the pins here. There's just the cotter pin here. So you'll pull this cotter pin out. The pin will slide out this side and you can just slide everything out. If you are going to do that, it is heavier than the bars.
Okay.
I've seen people put a rope here with a little bit of handle
Okay.
and put that there and then just one hand
Could
here.
use like a gym handle even,
Yeah,
like the ones for a cable machine.
Correct,
Got
yeah.
it.
So
Cool.
if you want to put one hand here and have that rope here and do it that, like I said, it is
But
heavy.
you can,
It is
but
heavy.
you can drive with that on too, without the Airstream.
Technically, yeah, it's
Okay,
yours.
cool. Okay, cool. Just making sure. Yeah,
I don't think there's any. I've seen people drive around with hitch pulls, so I can't see why not. There's
Okay.
you can have an equalizer on there.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah, so can they steal the equalizer?
Technically, yes, because all they have to do is pull that cotter pin and the pin and then just slide it on out. You can buy a
I did. Where does that go?
What do you mean?
I bought the Airstream one, right? Like, they probably tell you how to do it, right?
I'm not completely sure which one you're
I
talking
don't know
about.
what you're talking about.
Off the Airstream.
She's talking about the Airstream
Stream
lock for
supply.
the ball bear, for the ball.
Oh, for this?
Yeah.
You would, I don't know exactly how it would be, but 9
like-
times out of 10 it usually hooks into the coupler, so you can't get anything else in there. If you are going to leave this in, I probably would buy a key lock for this as well.
Lock,
Yeah, I would just buy that because
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna,
We get it.
I'm on
Yeah.
camera now, so I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
be.
no, we
The
get it.
other Kyle in parts like told me what to buy, so I'm sure.
Okay,
it'll be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions on how to take it off?
No, but I would like to try putting it on
Okay.
before I leave here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, and the backup camera, he has to sort of back up, right?
Yeah, it's a
Like-
good angle. Just try to keep it in the middle, and if you have help, just have someone literally standing where I am or a little bit farther back, just saying, hey, either left, right, stop. Where you want the ball is approximately right there, maybe a little bit farther up. You don't want it too far back.
Okay, but you want it aligned.
Yeah.
Cool. Easy enough.
So usually with the Demco latch, they do auto-correct themselves.
Okay.
Talk to me about the block you have that on, because we're not going to have a block.
It's just for time purposes.
Yeah, this is gonna go all the way down.
Yeah,
It goes all
will-
the way ground.
Halfway,
I'm
so it can show.
impatient.
So maybe we need the blocks.
You don't need a 7x7, but we do sell like the plastic ones that are like stackable like Legos. So we're gonna go down on the ball. Down, nice and flush is what you want to see. That's how you know you're on the ball correctly. You don't want to look them like this or like this, anything not flush. Your second indication that you're on the ball correctly, I'll do it from this side. This will pop in. If not, it ain't gonna go in.
Okay, so it has to be down.
Correct.
Got it.
So if it's not flush with the
Does
A-frame.
it matter which side the pin goes in?
No, I was just doing that for showing purposes.
Oh, so it does matter.
No, for you.
Oh, okay,
I'm just
okay.
trying to show you that the hole is in.
But
So,
this pin can go in either way.
Correct.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
silver side in, locks on its own.
Sweet. Just slide it right in and it
Yep.
locks. Cool.
So we are going to go back up
Yep.
because we're going to throw the bars on. If you try to throw the bars on now, it's going to literally be impossible.
Okay.
So there is no
So
height
you have to
requirement.
lift the truck to do the stabilizer.
Correct.
device.
For the weight distribution bars, yes. Because remember how I showed you how the head was tilting?
yeah.
So the head will tilt this way, and if you try to stick the bars on that way, it's just that science is not science.
Yeah.
So you want to lift it up, and the head
And
actually
it doesn't
tilts up a
really
little
matter how high or just.
It does, because obviously you don't want to go too high with the suspension on the truck.
Yeah.
So what I usually do is I go a little bit higher.
Like my shoulder height, about,
Yeah,
you would say.
We can go that route, and then I usually do sticker side out so you can read it. You'll
Okay.
always stick the same bar on the same side. Dealer's choice. I do it this way and put the cotter pin on the inside. I've seen people do it this way to make it easier to find the hole. Completely up to you.
It really doesn't matter?
Nope.
Okay.
I do it this way. It just looks a little bit cleaner.
Yep,
Plus,
yep.
no one's gonna pull your cotter pin if they don't see it.
Okay.
If you're on the side of the road, you're at the rest stop, whatever it may be. People are.
Yeah.
You just gotta run into that one person.
Yeah. We get it.
So we're gonna push over. If you can get it on, just like so, great. If not, you'll just go a little bit higher. That's how you know if you need to go higher or not.
Okay.
If you can slide it on, you're good. If you are running into like
that, then you need to go
just
higher on
either you
this.
can go a little bit higher, or we can use your tool, which I'm gonna show you on the other side, because that'll be easier for your camera. And down. And this is only gonna go in one way, I'm sorry. So it's gonna go in this way, it's not gonna go in this way, or this way.
Yeah. That makes sense. And then,
You can try, but
Yeah, and then it'll fall right out.
Right.
Yes.
I'm like Daddy.
So I'm gonna show you how to use your fancy new tool if you can't get it up high enough, or you forgot your block, or the jack fuse goes, whatever it may be. So sticker side out again. Pin, cotter pin. We're just gonna simulate that a little bit. So I can't get it on.
Yeah, I see.
Underneath, corner goes in there, and up.
Mm-hmm.
And you can beat the bar as much as you want.
Yeah,
you can kick it, you can use a rubber mallet, you can use whatever you need to do to get that thing on there.
Yeah, it's pretty durable.
It is very durable.
Cool.
And then we're just going to retract the jack all the way up. It's going to start clicking in a minute. That's just saying, hey, stop, I'm out of gears. Cool, nothing wrong. Gonna move your block out of the way. Put that here for now.
Yeah, the block is a good idea. Yeah.
So we're gonna do, this is driver's side, which goes to passenger side, and vice versa. I'm not gonna hook this up because we're gonna do the other style.
I do have a question.
Of course.
Now, does it matter which side goes which first as long as they are crossed?
As long as it makes that cradle, because this is a, you know, God forbid this does come down, it's supposed to catch it.
Yep. Okay, so just as long as they're crossed, but it doesn't matter if I go left to right or right to
Correct.
left. Okay, cool.
Try to keep this above the bars. Try not to go underneath. So try to keep it above.
Okay.
Because when you are making turns, it is going to move and everything, and we don't want this thing popping out.
I see.
So 12 o'clock, up and in.
So just basically like right on the thing,
Yeah.
then. Okay, that makes total sense.
Which I'm actually going to fix because it's technically supposed to come from out over here.
Okay.
I just haven't gotten to that point yet.
No, you're good.
I got to take this off to move that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of moving components.
And that's everything?
That's everything.
That is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was very frightened when I looked at this at first.
Super simple.
Cool.
Super
All
simple.
right. Yeah.
I saw that you had a brake controller in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know how that works?
No, they did not tell us.
I love how it's synchronized
No,
too.
no, they did not show us how to use that.
So a brake controller usually is 0 to 10.
Yep.
0 meaning no power, 10 meaning all the power. I usually keep it around a 4 or 5. The best way to tell if you need more or less on the gain, which is your numbers.
Yep.
If you get back on 33 and you're trying to come back to a stop, if you feel like the trailer still wants to go and you're coming to a stop, there's not enough back here. So if you are at a 4, knock it up to a 5. Depending on how bad it is, maybe a 5.5, depending on it is. If you are coming to a stop and you feel the trailer pulling you back, and you are at a 6, we'll say, knock it down.
To a
5,
4.
maybe a 4.5,
And
depending
is
on
that
how bad it is.
Is that gonna change depending on the road, or is it gonna stay
Because
consistent?
if you're going down, you know, on a downhill, you obviously want more brake because you have more weight and more momentum.
So like if you're going down like a steep grade like in Colorado, then you'd probably want to increase.
You're also going to be going a lot slower probably.
Yes,
too.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes.
if you're going to take it nice and slow, you can knock up the brake controller a little bit. You can change it on the fly, it looks like. I didn't install it, so I'm not going to patent that you can. But what I usually tell everyone is, since you're taking your eyes off the road and looking here, just pull over.
Yeah.
It's a half a second to 3 seconds to figure out where you want it to be.
Okay.
You know, you got a nice setup. We don't want to mess that up.
And
Yeah.
speaking of speed, right? Like, you know, kind of, you know, the highways out west with 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's all what you feel comfortable with. Obviously, I wouldn't do 80.
Okay.
Just stick to the speed limits.
Okay.
'Cause especially on a windy day, we don't want to feel that. You have the equalizer on there, which should help you out with wind and sway and everything. So we don't, just do the speed limit. Don't be
speed limit.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. We don't need that.
Yeah.
The other Kyle said this is like, you know, what everybody recommends.
This is probably one of our top sellers, yes. I have another one to do in probably like 45 minutes, so.
And it's this one.
Yeah, it's this exact one, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
The camera. I couldn't find a 12 volt outlet in there. You can get a USB or USB-C adapter to a 12 volt. How that camera is going to work though is the same way as your headlights. So if you have them on auto and you're driving today, they're not going to work. Nothing's going to turn on. Your ambers or your marker lights aren't going to turn on. Nothing. So you're going to get in the habit of turning your days on.
Okay.
So once your days are on, so this is auto right now. Of course they're going to turn on. we're gonna get in the habit of, I think those are your, yeah, that's your nights, those are your days. So you see how all the marker lights are on?
Yeah.
In this particular moment, if you had your camera plugged in, it should turn on. As long as you see those marker lights are on, they're coexisting.
Okay.
All right.
So when you say the days, you just mean not auto.
So this would be off.
Yeah.
This would be your days because you don't see any lights.
Yeah.
Your actual lights, and then your autos.
Okay. So you just want it to be on day.
Correct, because you don't want to ruin your.
Here or in there?
I don't like to rummage too much. I didn't see anything in here. I didn't look at it. I tried to put my hand back here, try to feel around to see if there was one in there.
We're gonna drive back to the pavement and we'll just slow you down.
Technically, yes, because you don't have the 12-volt outlet. I can see what we got. I can see if we have an adapter. Oh, this one pops up. All right, cool. So now when it has a little green light on your brake controller, so you know what number you're on.
Oh, that's sweet.
So whatever's lit up at, that's where you're at. It didn't show up before.
Yeah, no, that's the first time I'd seen it on, so. There's a spot back there.
I felt that one.
Yeah,
okay.
but it's not, there's nothing in it.
I can see if we have a USB-C to 12-volt outlet adapter in the store.
Or ideally the USB-A, because that USB-C runs the like CarPlay for GPS and stuff. That's the thing. There isn't a USB-C plug in the back though. There are 3 of them.
I can see. I can't promise anything.
Yeah.
It's really for the ride home. It's really if you want to watch everyone on your butt and making turns. It's not that much wider, so if you want to come sit in here and take a look at your mirrors and everything, you'll notice that it's not a drastic difference. I'm just going to show this.
Oh yeah.
It's not a drastic distance, you know, like difference.
No, yeah, you can see your sides.
So it's really completely up to you on preference.
Can you shut that door real quick? Yeah, I mean,
it's really.
If you have the USB-C one, they make a USB-A one though that you could just. Well, no, I'm asking. Do they make one?
I honestly have no.
Oh, okay, I think
USB-C.
Okay.
I just don't know if we have it in stock because I'm not parts. I don't want to say that we have it.
Go in and check.
I'm gonna walk it once we're all done.
Yeah,
I'm almost done anyway.
You're rushing. You're good.
No, I'm not trying to rush you guys.
No, not you. Her.
I'm gonna be here till 5, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm gonna Equalizer. We're good with that.
Yep.
Brake controller.
Yeah, I get it.
And the camera. We're gonna try to figure out if we can figure that out.
Yep.
I'm gonna put that breakaway on.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was just waiting for you.
Yes. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
And then if we can find it real quick, I know exactly where in the store it should be. And then if the USB-C is there, I'll bring it on back and try to hook it up and everything, and hopefully everything works out.
Sweet.
Okay.
Perfect.
If you guys have no questions, then I'll walk you guys back up front.
Cool. The whop. How's it looking?
Looking perfect.
Sweet. What was the issue with the furnace?
Main control board is what they said, so I'm gonna turn it on again for you.
Okay.
All right. Let us price it on. There you go. Just be careful, it's hot.
Yeah.
There's a main control board that tells the gas valve when to turn on, tells what the igniter to come on, tells the fan to come on. And there must have been a mini component in there that was failing to do the second and third parts. They just tried it 5-6 times, and I just did it with you now. So, all right.
Sweet.
Very good.
Awesome.
Very good. Very good.
Wonderful. Wonderful, excellent.
You see it's working. I have it working outside.
I trust you.
Okay. We like to show you just in case. Thank you.
I can confirm.
In terms of washing these things,
Yeah, that's a good question. Hose?
Yeah, hose is fine. We actually have a sublet company that come here 2-3 days a week and clean a bunch of them for us. So they use a pressure washer, and it's okay to do that. You just can't concentrate the pressure wash like directly on the window seams, because they can only hold so much pressure, you know. Pressure washing is fine. Soft bristle brush with soapy water in a bucket, like car wash stuff. Soft brush on the sides and the roof and everything. And then the wax is the pink liquid wax they sell in the parts department. Waldernized, it's called. So like hand done. It was done at the factory already. Then we did it like a spray wax before you.
How often do you think you should wax it?
If you're gonna be on the road a lot, you're gonna get a lot of bugs and stuff like that as often as possible.
Okay.
If the bugs get on there, caked on there, and they don't get off quickly, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good about washing the car and stuff, like with.
If you're good with that,
yeah.
So you're the opposite of me. My car hasn't been washed in like 5 years. So.
No, I'm good at washing the cars. Now, but should I? Now, question: do I need to wax every time I wash?
No, I wouldn't. I think waxing is 2-3 times a year if you can.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's more so.
And
that's
you only
what.
got 20 footer. You can do little sections at a time. You know, it's not like you have 30 feet to do 33.
Sweet. Awesome.
So when you're traveling for a trip, you're gonna leave this on during the trip towing, because if you shut that off, it's also shutting the fridge off.
Okay.
And you're gonna want that running on the
okay.
road, so. Okay.
Okay. But if let's say there's nothing in the fridge, do you want that then off?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
if you don't need the fridge, like right now, if you don't need it, you can kill it.
All right. Yeah.
The important stuff for towing, this still works with that off. Taillights, brakes, and turn signals and all that stuff.
Sweet.
Okay. Just remember to double check this or double lock this door.
Yep. Yeah, let's step down.
Yes, dear. Wow.
Excellent.
All right.
Sweet.
You got the keys, Kyle? Or?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
The back of the camera.
So this is your breakaway now. All you have to do is just treat it like the chain. Just hook it onto the receiver. Try to go above the bar like it is. Don't go underneath. It does have a lot of slack, but we don't want to take any chances.
Okay, so, but literally when I'm unlatching, I just take the carabiner off now?
Yeah, you just
that's
instead of doing all that other stuff, you just do this and then
that is
put it
way
right there.
simpler.
Just
that's how it should probably come standard, no? You would think so, right?